Stop waiting for the perfect time to do exposures. Your entire day is already packed with opportunities to beat this OCD. You might just not be seeing them yet. By the end of this video, you're going to look at your calendar and it's gonna look so different. You know why? Because when you're making breakfast, that's an exposure. You're putting your kids to bed, exposure. Scrolling on your phone, you guessed it. Exposure opportunity. I'm gonna show you exactly how to turn these boring everyday moments into OCD crushing practice sessions. Ooh, that was a mouthful. Grab your calendar, let's do this. So the problem with traditional therapy, people think they need to set aside special exposure time every day, 3 o'clock on Tuesdays, I'm gonna go touch this thing. That actually, yeah, that's helpful. We want to plan exposures, but how many moments throughout your day do you have where you can just throw one in? Because really, if you're only doing exposures during exposure time, you're missing hundreds of opportunities every single day. Your life is full of moments where OCD is already whispering at you, and now it's your time to fight back. Okay, so let's get practical with this thing. Before we dive into examples of what you're gonna be putting in your calendar, here's the formula that we're gonna use. What is the action you're gonna pick? What are you doing anyway? I make breakfast every morning, going to work, whatever it is. What am I doing? Just write down the things you're already doing. That's in your calendar. But we might take it very specific. Everything. I'm waking up, I'm using the restroom, I'm washing my hands, I'm getting my clothes on, I'm shaving my face. You might literally write down step by step exactly what my day looks like. And I know it's gonna take a long time, but it's worth it. Those are the actions. Is there any OCD triggering elements that come along with that? Are there things you normally avoid? So I'm using the bathroom, for example. Do I make sure I don't touch anything while I'm in there? What are the things that I normally avoid? I put going into an elevator on my calendar because I do that every day when I go to work. Do I normally avoid something while I'm doing that? Do I not touch the buttons? Do I do it with my elbow? What do I do? Write down all those things you're avoiding, and then what are those compulsions going to be skipping? I normally avoid this thing on my drive, or when my kids, I have to read them a book, or whatever it is. I am skipping this ritual or this compulsion. I put it in my calendar. I'm skipping it. The plan is, instead of just saying, okay, I'm not doing the compulsion, because that's simple. What am I gonna do instead? Well, my action is, okay, I'm using the elevator. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna push it really hard. I put that in my calendar, pushing it really hard with my finger, walking in the elevator. I normally would kind of cover my mouth just in case there's more people in there. I'm gonna make sure I breathe in really deeply. I'm writing that in my calendar. Cool, great, I did it for that. And then what responses? So your calendar might look crazy, so many things. My responses, can I go with a maybe, maybe not? Maybe I'll get sick, maybe I'm not. Wait, that didn't make sense. Maybe I'll get sick, maybe I won't. Maybe something bad will happen. Maybe I'll get contaminated. Maybe I'll get sick. Amazing. And the compulsion that I wrote down that I'm not doing, I'm not gonna go wash my hands because I touched that elevator button. I've planned for it, I've written it out. I know I avoid this every day. I'm just freaking doing it, man. You're not really adding more to your day because you're already there. You're just making it different, minus the compulsion. You're taking away the safety behaviors. You're actually removing extra tasks from your life. And I know you probably have to feel anxiety. That's part of life, but it's just for now because things get better. I bet you on day 7 or whatever, you're just whatever, who cares? I don't want you to live 2 lives. One where it's the regular life and then the exposure life. Merge them. You're living one life. OCD is already there. It's already calling the shots. So let's map out your day to take control. So I know the example that I just used, touching an elevator button. Some of you might be thinking, oh, that's silly. Mine's what if I harm somebody? What if I don't know my sexual orientation? What if I do something inappropriate? What if I blah, blah, blah? This is way more serious. That's such a silly example. I've seen it in the comments. I know. It's the same thing. We're risking it. I avoid reading a book to my kids at night because it makes me anxious. I'm not sure if maybe I'll do something wrong. I'm reading them a book. I normally avoid having them sit on my lap. They're sitting on my lap. And I'm using the responses. I've written it down on my calendar. I'm practicing it. I'm feeling anxiety. And I'm going to say, maybe, maybe not, man. Yeah. Feeling anxious. Maybe this will last all night. Maybe I'll do something. Ooh, I'm so scared. We're not saying that this OCD is worse than this one and I can't do it for this one. Mine's unique, mine's different. That's definitely an OCD trap. So I know you have so many tasks in the day that we just can't plan for. You don't know if you're gonna spill your drink on your desk. You don't know if the email you sent had a misspelling. You don't know, all these things. But I know when you start planning these out on your calendar and you're just you do actually do them. Those other ones that just are on a whim, you know what to do with it. You know how to handle it. What's the action I'm gonna take? What are the responses I'll have? And what's the compulsion I'm gonna really try not to do? So your job is to live life. I say that probably every single video, but live your life. I know exposures are a little bit tougher than the way I'm explaining it, and you gotta have to really trust in that process. I've made that so easy to follow in my Master Your OCD course. 67 videos in there, so many different worksheets, journal prompts for you to use. Go check it out down below. You can preview it for free. This thing is freaking amazing. It's everything I teach my own clients. So if you're just like, this is way too overwhelming, I have so many different things I could write on my calendar for the day. Can you just write out a few of them? Maybe just even one that you're willing to change. And then the next day it's another one. If you know specifically, there's always one thing that I tend to avoid every single day. I don't touch my shoes as I put them on. That's gonna be my new thing. I've put it in my calendar. Touch the darn shoes and love it. Amazing. Hope I get whatever I'm afraid of, but let me love it. And I'm gonna do that day after day after day after day. Not an afterthought. I have it written down. You're no longer saying, I can't do these things until my OCD or my anxiety's gone away. No, you do it even though you're feeling all those symptoms, because you're not fighting OCD anymore. You're just ignoring its directions. Every time you do that, you're teaching your brain, oh, what? I can actually function without following your rules? That is recovery, not just waiting for the thoughts to stop. So there you go, your entire day, exposure therapy. This actually is a lifestyle. And I am so certain, maybe not, maybe certain, this is something that you do, like people just see success. That's just how it works. Now stop watching YouTube unless you're gonna watch another video of mine to learn more skills. Now we're gonna take that part out. Now go plan your day. You've got OCD to crush, and I know you need more skills. You can go watch the video right here. It's got it for you. It's got it. Thanks so much for being here. And I'll see you next time. Exposure time. You're gonna pick everything. Write down all those things you're avoiding. And then what are those compulsions, which is those things you're avoiding.